Good day guys and welcome to my channel. My name is Ademola Badmus, and in this video we will be setting up our test, the entire project that will help us test the Flutter app that we've modified, and the one that we have created an APK and also an app for. So without further ado, let's get right into it. What we need to do basically is we just need to start by creating a folder inside this. I already told you that I'm just going to create it here. So let's call this one maybe automate, or we can call it must app E to E or something like that. Or let's just call it E to E, the end to end, so it makes sense that way. So inside end to end, what we need to do from our terminal is we get into end to end and we begin the fun. So from here, I did not install I did not install WebDriver globally, so I will need an npx to run some commands for myself. So I'll do an npx like this. But if you have installed WebDriver globally, you can just run this command like this and it will run for you. But for me, it won't run because it isn't installed globally. For personal reasons, actually, I didn't install it globally. So I have this npx and I run this, and with that we begin the configuration of our project. So I'm going to expand the terminal for now so we can begin the configuration of that project. As you can see, we are inside E2E right here on our project part. It would automatically want to create a config file for us, but don't fret. When it begins to do the composition, when it begins to do the creation, we will tell it not to. So it says a project was detected there because it created a config for us. We can click on no, right? We don't want that. So we don't want this. So we begin to move things away from there. So what is your project root? We can copy this and give it as our project root. This is our project root. That's where we want our project to be, outside that config. So it will create it here. Now it asks us some couple of questions which I've done previously before. You've seen it before, but I'll just quickly skip through it. In the previous playlist, I've done something like this. This is the way WebdriverIO makes life easy for everybody. So we are trying to do a web or mobile application. I'm going to pick on that. Trying to do it on a local machine. I'm going to pick on that. And so far as far as I know, when it comes to, if you're not doing it on your local machine, the only cloud-based resource that I have seen that is supporting this new flavor of Flutter at the moment, that has done anything meaningful on it, is SourceLab. So you might want to try SourceLab if you want to try yours as well. But for now, let's just continue with this. And what do we want to test? We want to test mobile, so we're going to pick on this. And what do we want to do after that? We can just pick either this or iOS, right? Because we will still need to install the rest by ourselves anyways. So what framework do we want to use? Of course, we are going to use Mocha. So do we want this in TypeScript? I don't really use TypeScript, so I'm always comfortable with JavaScript. So I'm going to pick on no. So this whole project will be done in JavaScript. So do you want WebdriverIO to auto-generate on text files? Of course. Make it easy for us. Then what should be the location? Of course, you can use that. The default location is okay. The page object, yes, we wanted to create that for us as well. Then we do that. So we have a design pattern already done for us. So what kind of reporter do we want? Like we did in the previous video, which I will not do. I will not bother to go through the reporting part of things because we've already done it here. Like I will not be showing that video. It will be a lot of videos to show. So I will just pick allure like we did, and we could pick any of this. We could use wait for like we used to, like pick that. And do we want visual testing? No, we don't want visual testing. And the service that we want, we'll pick Appium. Appium is part of the service that we want, although we need to add another service to it, which will allow us to be able to do to be able to work with a Flutter server. So we are going to pick that. Do you want it to run npm install? Answer is yes. So and just put y. So it will do that, and all of this will be installed for us. But we need to install more. So once the installation is done, I will go ahead and do the remainder of the installation. So let me minimize the terminal. So we allow this to run, and once it has installed everything, I will install the rest of it. Now that it has finished, it's asking if I want to continue with Appium installer. Yes, I will pick yes, because there are some things that I can pick from here. So it's asking if I want to install Appium server, Appium drivers, or launch Appium Doctor. Let me just exit. I think we are good for now. The rest I can handle by myself. So now that we have done this, we have this all created. We don't need this, so we can delete the config because we didn't specify it as our root folder for our project, so we can remove that. So this is all we have right now. So inside here, what we will do is we would install the other things that we need. Okay, inside here we would install all the other things that we need. So I'm going to start with installing npm install. As a dev dependency, I'll install Appium. I will install Appium Flutter Integration Driver. I would also install, because all I've picked here before was the UI automator, I would also install the driver for iOS. That's the XC UI test. So I would also install Appium XC UI test driver. And what else? I still need some other things. I would install the Flutter by service. So this is the service I'll be adding into the code. So I'll have to install that, and it is created for WebdriverIO. So I'm going to do Flutter by service. So, and what else do I need to install? I need to put in TypeScript and TS node. And also I use Asat more than I use expect. So I will also install Asat, and I will install TS mocha for TS and also TS node. It is important to say that the way this is designed is actually more TypeScript compatible, but I'm a JavaScript person, so I like to use JavaScript at all times. But you know, the way it is with with TypeScript and JavaScript, they actually go hand in hand, so everything will be fine. So that being said, with all of this done, I think we are good to go. So if I hit enter, I expect all of this to be installed. Yes, so everything has been installed, as you can see. So we are good to go. Now, after installing all of that, we need to now make sure that we have a configuration for the Android and also a configuration for the iOS. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this, and I will put it in the root folder so I can rename it there. So I'm going to put it in the root folder, and I will name it, let me rename it here, call this one iOS, and take it back into the E2E so we can have two configuration files. So while I rename this one as Android, now in the next video I will bring it to a close here, so which means we are really ready to, really good to go. So in the next video, I don't want it to be a very long one like I mentioned in a previous video. In the next video, I will show us what we need to do to modify the configuration for the Android part, and in another video I will show us the configuration for the iOS. Then we can now write the test, because it's just one test that we need that will run all our tests for us. Like we did in the previous video, you just need to write one test and everything will be fine. So that being said, thank you for getting to the end of this video with me. Please do not forget to like and subscribe, and also refer to your friends. Bye bye. See you in the next video.